ringing. Oh, I'm live. It took me 3 times to get live. Hey, howdy, hey. This is Roller Coaster Storms. I am Stormy. Oh, I have someone watching already. Cool. That's pretty dope. Hi, viewer, whoever you are. Hope you're ready to learn some therapy techniques here. I have my DBT deck and my BPD deck, of course. So I'm going to pull out my DBT because I feel like I kind of need this. I just sat and read in 2 hours The Narcissistic Daughter. Oh, the viewer went away. Oh, no. I'm not interesting enough. Anywho, The Narcissistic Daughter. Bruh, if me and this lady don't have the same life, I felt the struggles. I literally wrote the same struggles in this book. It gives you so much space to write your own shit. I really love it. I don't know if that's what she meant to do with it, but I'm pleased. Amazon is The Narcissist's Daughter by Kylie B. This lovely, lovely lady, Kylie, and then just B. She's awesome. Her Facebook group is pretty dope. And I think I'll probably get into some of this because my mother called me and left a voicemail after not hearing anything since, I think, 2022. Something like that. It was the last time she tried to call me. So, picking a card at random, yo. Ooh, the other side. Let's see what this is about. I hate that I do that like white person thing where I have to fill up space with odd noises. Of course, I feel like I'm back in customer service on the phone. And so people were looking up things because they weren't prepared. The other side. We often default to the negative aspects of ourselves or situations. Look to the other side of the dialect. Ask yourself, what is the hidden opportunity in a problem you have? Find the silver lining. What strengths, resiliencies, or resources do you have? Play to your strengths. What skills can you practice and get better at in managing a crisis? Aim to be skillful. Yeah, it's just basically, let's figure out how we can stop your spiral and what is going to ground you and make you work in the wise mind. And so these questions aren't bad. It's sometimes they seem like fluff in the moment, but if you have time to go back and reflect, you'll totally understand it a bit more because you're not reacting in an emotional state and just think everything's out to get you. It sucks, and I know sometimes it feels good to shame spiral, but we don't need to shame spiral. We just don't. Spiraling sucks, especially as you get older and you get motion sickness and you can't go on the gravitron anymore because it makes you sick. So my brother's out and my husband is sleeping because he has a 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift going on. So he'll be waking up in about 5 hours. So I figured I'd get this done. We're down in one car right now because our C-Max, after 12 years, is finally having its first big issue. So we get to lovingly drop $1,500 at least on it. Picking a random card right now. Sorry. So that really delays things for me. Like he's working a 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift. And either I wake up, take him to work, come back, maybe fall asleep, maybe not fall asleep, and then drive myself an hour to Horses. So depending on how this video goes, I might do a therapy session virtually tomorrow instead, or I might just enjoy the storm. So BPD card is lessening loneliness. That's pretty good. I just talked about today how I feel comfortable in being alone. That's because I know nobody's going to yell at me or harass me or give me trouble or give me shit for doing or not doing something. Yeah. So lessening the loneliness. Resist the urge for self-blame when you feel lonely. Loneliness is not your fault and never proves that you're defective. You can lessen loneliness through social contact, online or in person, getting a pet, joining a workout class, or volunteering. Don't stay idle. Socialization gives a sense of connection. That's very true. It was really hard for both my best friend and I when we finally had to separate for good because we spent so much time together. It was difficult for us to find anybody else to try to understand us just a quarter of the bit that we got each other. And it's hard staying at home, and it's even harder to go out and try to find things and put yourself out there. And people don't respond the way they should, especially here in where I'm at in the BMW. It is a cold greeting. People eventually warm up, but it takes time. And sometimes it's like years. I don't understand it. And that's probably just coming from the South. Everyone's a hey, how you doing? What's going on, sir, ma'am, them, to them? What's going on? Are you gonna tell me that there's another storm? Yes, I know. I'm live on my channel. Hi. So lessening loneliness and seeing the other side are both good cards for spiraling. These decks are good in general, especially if you're someone who likes to do a 1-a-day lesson or something like that. The people that have the 1-a-day words on their calendars. This is actually not bad to try to do as well. I'm doing it with you guys through here, so roughly once a month. By the way, happy 1 year. I've made it 1 year on YouTube. It was not as crazy of a roller coaster as I thought it was going to be, which I'm very, very thankful for. And that I still have a space for my voice to be, even if it's just for myself, to help get it out and help not sit in the ugliness anymore. So I finished reading Brene Brown's, I thought it was just me, but it's not, or it isn't. Try to pull the book back out. Yeah, but it isn't. I finally finished it. I made a lot of notes in it. This book is more towards women. There is a couple of pages in here about men, but it's more about the imposter syndrome that women get with shame and guilt, and what categories we find ourselves to find shame and guilt. And so some of it doesn't even apply to me, like for children and parenting, pregnancy loss, things of that nature that I've never went through. But because it's geared towards women, it does have a wide spectrum. So you will find things in here for you and some things you won't. I think in this book, she did mention she was looking at doing something for men, but it was a little bit more difficult because men aren't as detailed. And most of them think that if I just kick your ass, I'm a tough guy. And that's all it takes. I'm a good provider if I can do the A, B, C, D, which is be tough, work a job, and be tough. Ooh, I think I'm getting hungry. What time is it? 9 o'clock. Off on the eating schedule because he's working. So, yay. But it's a pretty good book, and it makes sense of a lot of pressure that is generational pressure, generational trauma, however you want to describe it, that gets put upon us at such a young age of things that we're supposed to do. It's frustrating because it almost gives you no chance. Like you're going to be built with shame and guilt no matter what you do or don't do. It's not your choice. It's what's been put onto you by society for the most part. Got a bunny rabbit to squeeze and play with, to stim with. So Kylie B's Narcissist's Daughter. It's From Breakdown to Breakthrough. You can get it on Amazon. Same with Brene Brown. I thought it was just me, but it isn't. You can also get it on Amazon. Amazon is the bane of my existence. It's so frustrating how they've made everything so accessible. But you can't pick up this inside a Barnes & Noble or a secondhand store. maybe a secondhand store, but right now this is on Amazon. Brene Brown I bought in Barnes & Noble. It was one of the first ones I saw. I was like, dang it, Brene Brown. That's what my therapist told me to read. She lived my life without living my life, if that made sense. She's in the UK, so we have our own versions of our own lives going on, but holy cow, was it not the same? Oh, wait, you know what? Let me get into the phone call. Maybe I should play it. Ugh, I'm so rude. I'm going to play the voice message. How awful of a person am I?
Please enter your password. You have 2 saved messages.
2 saved messages.
Saved message. Press this message is for message marked for deletion. Saved message.
Hi, Stephanie. It's your mom. Just calling because I wanted to see how long you were going to not talk to me for. Anyways, give me a call if you want. Love you. Bye.
I was calling because I hadn't spoken to you since January 21st of 2020, or January 21st of 2021. So it was after January 6th. And that's the message you leave me. The when are you going to talk to me bullshit is bullshit. You can make an effort. You can write a letter. You can explain your feelings in some way, but you won't. But you forced me to. So let me explain my feelings right now. The phone call and the message you should have left, even though I have you blocked, the message you should have left should have read or listened or spoken as, hey, honey, it's your mom. It's been such a long time and I've missed you every day. I'm sorry that we had our issue. I want to grow and move past this. I hope you're doing well. I love you. Do you know how much more open I would have been if I had gotten that type of message instead of the passive aggressive, when are you going to talk to me? Call me if you want. I love you. Your I love yous are throwaways. Do you really love me? Because if you love me, you love the values I have. You love the ethics that I have. You love the person that I have become despite the struggle I went through, be it by your fault or my father's fault or my stepmother's fault, or one of the pseudo father figures that were in our lives. Someone should have stepped in and helped out. You knew you were upset. You knew, because every time after you hit or screamed at us for what seemed like hours, which is only 30 minutes to an hour, you would scream in our faces. Then you would apologize because you knew you flipped your shit. I love you and I'm sorry, but you made me do this. I'm not falling for that shit anymore, Mom. So I know she at least is watching my videos because I have a spike and I have 3 new subscribers. Carol Reed, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I don't know who you are, but I really hope you find this channel very helpful for anything that you or someone you know may be going through. I appreciate the subscribe. Sorry, 15 my pants. Where's my bunny? Let me stim with this instead of my clothes. But I know you're watching my videos because I responded with a text message that I know you got saying, there's no one here by that name anymore. I'm sorry. And I sent the link of my last video, the one where I actually spoke to my mother and how pissed off I was that you would not give yourself or our relationship an opportunity or a chance to know this person and who I am and have value in me. You've never found value in me. And I don't know when it started, and I don't know why it started. I don't know if it's because you think I am you, but I'm not you. I have my own story and my own fucking life. And you should learn to appreciate what I have. So watch the videos. Reach out, don't reach out. Make an effort, don't make an effort. Sorry, my cats are going crazy. It's nighttime. Like, I don't care. You have to prove your worth to come back into my life. You have to prove that you're doing something different than what the bullshit cycle of abuse we've been going through. I'm done. I'm sick of it. And after 4 years, that was the message you wanted to leave me. It's bullshit, Mom. I don't even use Mom anymore. I call you Kathy around here, or her. That's how bad it is. That's how bad our relationship is. I'm working on it. I am trying. But my personality disorder didn't come out of nowhere. My issues of stemming or ADHD or this nervous, emotional child that you had didn't come from nowhere. It came from the environment that I was raised in. You have to accept that. I can't tell Doug to accept it. He's dead. Okay? You are the only parent I have that gives a flying fuck, right? Right? I'm your firstborn. I'm your first daughter. How could I do this? Right? How could I? Why would I? Sit on it. Think about it. You know, you want to be a revisionist on our history, and it's not. You hit us, Mom. You smacked us all the time. You hit us with things, with objects. You blamed us for your bruises. What the fuck? It's our fault that you hit us and now you're bruised? What sense does that make? So you had to start using objects, shoes, wooden paddles, ping pong paddles, the wooden spoons, I mean. Anything that was in reach. I got a pot once because I forgot to wash it because I was washing it in the dark because lights stim me out. Lights are too much for me, so I was washing dishes in the dark. And I forgot a black pot on the black stove in the shadow. I got hit with it. That's what children deserve, right? Children who are trying to make your home livable. We cleaned. You gardened. There's a difference in teaching us something and then parentifying us. And you definitely parentified me, and I think my sibling was parentified by choice. Because that was the only way they were going to get recognition, was to be the one that cared for the children, to be the one that wanted to be a mommy. Got their way. Everybody got what they wanted, right? Except poor old Stormy over here. All you guys should be really happy, right? I know I have happy moments. I know I'm calm. I know that I'm fucking safe. You don't know what a great feeling that is until you can actually understand and know that footsteps don't have moods. Thank you, Kylie. That slamming cupboards shouldn't be a sign of conversation, that you're pissed off or something, right? Throwing objects isn't a sign of adoration or love. I don't have to worry about those things anymore. It's pretty fucking nice. I can have my home however the fuck I want to have my home. You're not living in it. You're not living my life. You probably hate the fact that I'm not working right now because I'm not proving myself in any way. Remember when I ran the tattoo studio? The only way we could run the tattoo studio is by allowing Barbie to live with us. And we didn't charge her rent, so she can only pay rent for her shop. But every time you called, every time you wrote, it was how's her shop? How's her shop doing? Not the fact that she wouldn't have a shop if it wasn't for me. I didn't hold that over her head by any means, because I want her to grow and thrive and become the best that she can be, because I never got that push of support. Support. I never got that push of support. So I push everybody else, because if you have the opportunity to fall with a safety net, why not try? I'm the safety net. Hey, squirrely girl. No, ma'am. You need your nighttime meds. Psst. Hang on, let me chase the cat. Miss Ma'am, get. Squirrely girl. Tough nut to crack, for sure, that girl. God. Should I read some of my stuff from here? Some of the memories I wrote down. I think I covered most of the memories in my chapters. I still have to do my high school chapter, and it's going to be intense and long, and I'm not sure when I'm ready to start that, because it's got a lot of memories and a lot of reflecting to do upon it. Sorry that you're hearing these ASMR pages. My bad. Trying to find where I started writing. Damn cats. So yeah, I wrote how, even though like my mother really pushed for education, and she would lose her shit if teachers like tried to say I didn't do stuff, because that was the one thing she knew I would always do was my schoolwork and my classwork. I did it more for myself because I would get acknowledgement from my teachers, and I would get special privileges because of how well I did my work. I always accomplished my work fast. Hey, Batman, you're going to come jump on my lap, aren't you? Batman, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Ah, shit, there he is. Hi, Gat. I'm sitting here for a bit. She would always, even if I did well, like, it was like, oh yeah, like, at first I would get good accolades from her. And then it was like, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you got another A. Good job. You know, it stopped meaning anything. So I kept doing it for my teachers, and, you know, became a teacher's pet. I've spoken about that before. Batman, you're just perched on one leg. Please settle down. But she would fight for my education and fight against teachers. And sometimes it was a little overboard, and sometimes it wasn't. I do remember it was like the one thing she really pushed us for was to complete our education. And maybe it's because, you know, so many haven't, and we need that to open doors and to be better. At least that's what I hope, right? Batman, I can't love on you 24/7. I'm doing something. But, well, on one hand, she would be fighting my teachers. On the other hand, I'd be late for school because she needed to smoke pot first. You know, she was already going to be late to work, so it didn't matter. She has kids, they're going to understand, right? Also with the pot smoking, like, she would be in her room with the door shut, and that's the only way we could communicate was through a door. And even then, we couldn't bother her unless it was really serious. And I'd always have to like bathe my sister, and that really sucked because they were young and they would poop in the tub, and I'd get a fishnet and scoop out the poop all the time. It was so frustrating. To drain the water, then fill it back up and wait. And, you know, my siblings having the time of their life because it's a like endless bath time, but I didn't want to deal with that. I just wanted to have a bath and like settle down. Like, I was overstimulated a lot of times. They talk about when they did art. I did a portrait my senior year. It was the first time I could take an art class since middle school. And I was so happy to like just have any artistic ability to be out there. So I keep closing my eyes because I have a photographic memory, and I'm picturing myself in class right now and my teacher and the students around me and the feelings that I had. I really enjoy art. I don't know what I would like to do with it, but I just enjoy the art of making something, I guess. But I did a self-portrait and I brought it home, and my mom said I looked like a chow, and I didn't paint again until I was with my husband. We were married in Germany, and we went and found an art class for couples. The parentification, I always had to babysit. Summertime came. Mom didn't have a summertime. So I was always one that had to stay at home in case of an emergency and be there for my sister so she could go hang out with her friends, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even have people over. It was really shitty. The only good thing they had is like I had a friend who was my age who eventually my mother split up me and my friend up. It's written in the book, by the way. It's a core memory I have of you splitting up my friendship with my best friend in 10th grade. Pissed about that. But she had a sister the same age as my sister, so we were able to at least sometimes go over there, and I would have a reprieve and get to hang out with somebody, which is great. I loved it. Batman, just settle your soul, buddy. I'm going to give you some GABA in a bit. I remember when I was chosen to model, and I think I discussed this earlier in 3rd grade, and my mother wanted to be there, and they were supposed to call her or let her know or something. Some miscommunication happened, and she didn't get to be there for my photo shoot. And the entire ride home, I had to deal with the anger and the yelling, and not necessarily my fault, but feeling like it was my fault and not being able to enjoy the fact that I did something new and different. And how did I feel? Did I want to do this? Yes, I wanted to model, but eventually she told me modeling was stupid and it wasn't worth my time. So, yeah. Talk about how you get support from outside coaches, teachers. Like, it's amazing the impression teachers can give on you. Or in my case, I had a guidance counselor that really gave me a strong impression. The constant fighting with partners or spouse or whoever. My mom had partners, so there was always a lot of fighting. And there was like fighting that I didn't understand that I knew, and I don't know if I necessarily said this in one of my older chapter versions. I used to have an animal blanket, and I think I may say this in my last one, but it had zebras, lions, elephants, giraffes, whatever. It's not like an African themed. It was a white blanket, and it had these little animals that are about this big all over the blanket, the same repeating animals, right? And what I would do each night in bed is I would stroke each animal, thank them for being strong for what they are and protecting me through the night. What 3 to 4-year-old does that at night, bruh? If there's not problems in the house, I shouldn't have to know that I need these animals to protect me, or why I would constantly surround myself with stuffed animals because I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel safe. I'm a stomach sleeper. I don't feel safe sleeping on my back. I feel exposed, which sucks because my back hurts all the time. Ooh, kitty cat. So I talked about the fierce warrior of school. There's a 5 years difference between me and my siblings, so it was very hard for us to play at times because you can only do imagination for so long, and they're not going to fully understand the games that you want to play, so you have to try to find a common middle ground, which I did a lot of times, which is a lot of imagination. Hot lava, we're in the water, we're in a boat here, let's make boats, let's make tents, let's dress up in sheets and do fashion shows, things that like I could find constructive and they would enjoy because they get to use their imagination. And on top of it, though, it would be, you guys need to love each other. You're all you ever have. But at the same time, I'm going to put boxing gloves on you guys and let you guys duke it out. So, talked about how they never had any adults come in and rescue. Same situation, man. My extended family, my step family, knew my defensive stance against Kathy. Ooh, I said your name. Ah! Oh, well. I already said it earlier. Deal with it, hun. Deal with it, please. Find yourself. But they would know the defensive stance and they would laugh. Why is that funny that I have to have a defensive stance against my mother who hits me? I remember I got in trouble for not wanting to go to my great grandma's funeral or want to see her in the hospital because my mother knew, because I was testing second grade, that I had a photographic memory, but for some reason didn't understand that the fact that if I had a photographic memory, those are going to be my last memories of my great grandmother for the rest of my fucking life. And as a child, I didn't want to have those memories in my head, but I was in trouble for doing it. I was 8 or 9 years old, man. Like, who kid wants to go to a funeral and see a dead body? Nobody. Getting advice. Oh, that was a big thing. Couldn't get advice from my mother because it was always my fault. Anything with my friends was always my fault, and I should have known better, and I should have known the lesson already. That shit was hard. So I learned that, like, I couldn't go to my mother with common, simple problems between friends that happen to every fucking child in the world. Am I too loud? Someone write me. No. Okay. Whew. I thought I was too loud. I thought he could hear me. He sleeps through most things. But yeah, if I would say certain things about my friends and my mother wouldn't like them, then I wasn't able to hang out with them anymore. And then separated me and my best friend. We've been best friends since sixth grade. We had notes, we had nicknames, did everything. We felt like the outcast, and it was amazing. I loved this person. And 4 years later, I don't have a relationship with this person anymore because my mother claimed a stupid stereotype at my party because I can't have a good time. It fucking sucked. I had 4 friends over. That was it. And it was ruined. Oh, man. Yeah, the whole, like, when there was arguments going on between my mother and the lovers, we would definitely, my sibling and I would shut our doors to our respective rooms, because at least we always had our own room, and dissolve into our own world. You know, my sister had a cat, I had a dog and a cat, and I would just shut the door and be on a puzzle, definitely have music playing, reading a book, doing something constructive so that when the door bursts open, I look like I'm doing something with my life and not just being a lazy bum, because I don't want to get in trouble. The number one rule in the house is just don't lie, because she could smell out a lie like nobody's business, even though it was normal for kids to lie about stupid shit like doing homework or not doing chores. You gotta get beat for that. Not being able to go because of their trauma to them about puberty or sex. That was a big thing. I always felt ashamed of my body and ashamed that I couldn't talk to the one person who's supposed to be okay with the body and know everything. And maybe not know everything, but maybe help me find out. I was not allowed to talk about it. I got yelled at for not taking a joke when I was trying to take a shower and I was naked and I had to open the door because I locked the door because we lived with a roommate who had a boyfriend. And so I would lock the bathroom door, and it was the bathroom I shared with my mother and my sibling. And she knocked and asked to come in and push the door open, and the roommate was there, who was female, but still in the camera. She took a picture of me, not the roommate, but my mother did. And I was embarrassed and ashamed, and I wish she hadn't done it. And I'm picturing the picture in my head because I've seen the picture. My mother shows it. She thinks it's funny, and I don't think it's funny that I was exposed in that way because I've already been sexually abused by that time. She didn't know that, but did she care to know that or know why I was so afraid of my body being shown? Nope, I just got scolded for it. Getting away on computers, man, computer saved me. Even if I was just playing the Palace and I was just sitting there with Tom Petty on and designing clothes pixel by pixel, that's what saved me. Those tedious tasks, those things I can do all day long. It's just the right music, man. asking, begging, pleading to go out with friends and wondering why I wasn't good enough to just go out and have friends. That was a hard one too to accept. Other people are able to tell about their trauma. I never told anyone about this trauma I was going through because I thought I deserved it. I thought deep down everyone was going to find out I was a selfish, entitled, spoiled brat. That was stupid. She was always fighting with someone. If it wasn't the kids, it was our fathers, and it'd be your lovers or be your friends. No one was doing enough or doing it right or not giving enough attention to the family. You were lying or you were cheating. It was always our faults. We just hid in our rooms with our own animals in our own worlds. I wrote a couple times. Being 20 years old and still having a curfew. The one thing that got me really big, and I wrote, bro, same, was the lackluster replies you would get on accommodations. So something big happened, like a graduation out of university or whatever. For me, it was my wedding and trying on my wedding dress. I got, oh yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it looks good. What the fuck? What do you mean? Like, where's the enthusiasm? Your first daughter is getting married and is following a path that you would think you would want for me, and you couldn't give an ounce of emotion? That's a you thing, babe. Just work on it, please. I hate that. I hate that, like, oh, well, it's something you're supposed to do. Why should I care? Why should I have emotion? That says something. And we got to figure it out so we can communicate and have a relationship. But if you're not willing to work on that shit, I'm not willing to stand around and waste my time. Getting screamed at, getting hit if I didn't have the right answer right away. The only reprieve I had was going to my drug and alcohol addicted father's house with 3 other children and an enabling stepmother with a stepfamily that judged you from top to bottom. But that was my reprieve. I did have fun. I did have times where I didn't have to worry about certain things. Did I have to worry about other things? 100%. Being left with strangers, overdose, pills, being left at hotels, being left in a canoe while your father ran because he heard someone screaming and was going to try to play hero at some cheap-ass motel while you're sitting in the middle of the water. Yeah, those are the times. Having my stepfather, my pseudo-fathers, like, try to protect us and then realize they step in, then they get the wrath, and it's just easier to let us children get the wrath, right? We're flexible. We'll deal with it. Always having to write letters of apologies, but she can't write one single letter to me. Not one. Because you don't care. It's all a show. Really sit down and really think. Do you really miss me? What do you miss about me? Tell me what you miss about me. Leave me a voicemail and tell me what you miss about me as a human being, as a person. Give me 5 things. And maybe we can have a dialogue. It'll probably be a therapist. But come on. Give me 5 things. I'm currently on a list waiting to do EMDR. That's how bad my shit is. That's how bad my PTSD is. Okay? She said, it was so overwhelming for me that complete strangers could show more love towards me than my own mother. And I wrote, it's a roller coaster of a fucking feeling. Because you get so overwhelmed with the love. And then you're so sad that you can't get this simple act. And then you get angry at why can't you have this simple act? Why is it such an effort for such a simple act of love to be shown? I have so many wasted days and nights over the energy of her words hurting me, and somehow I'm always the one to blame. What stuff I can talk about in my high school chapters. Let's see. Yeah, when I finally had the balls after 25 and a lot of physical distance. I was in another country. She'd always call me a bitch just for disagreeing or holding a boundary. Always. Or I was a selfish brat that couldn't just deal. It's too much emotions. Sorry, it's my personality disorder. You've got NPD, I've got BPD, baby. I'd rather have mine than yours. That's one thing. When my mother got married, she asked me and my sibling if it was okay, separately, mind you, if it was okay that she went off and got married in another state without us. That we weren't going to be there for her first marriage in her life in her 40s. How fucked up is that you don't want your children at your own fucking wedding? Or that when you come home and do a ceremony at home or whatever, you don't even have your children participate in it? Why did you have us? Come on now. You can give me an answer. Oh, man. I'm a petty bitch right now. This book really moved me. Yes, my mother controls all relationships, or there is no relationships. If she can't control the narrative of what's going on, then there's no relationships to be had. The more I became or reflected her, the more she hated it and made sure I was punished for it. So I don't know if she was scared that I was becoming her or she was jealous that I was becoming like her. But I couldn't help it. You're my mother. You're who I spent majority of my time with. You molded me. I can't help it who you picked to have a child with, that I just look like the two of you. Or that because of my photographic memory and I've seen you write, I can copy your handwriting. And that scares you? You don't like that I write like you? Come on now. Get over it. You got a gifted fucking kid here. Or had a gifted kid. I don't know where my gifts are right now. They're hidden. Maybe I'll find them at Christmas. Almost done with this cough. I'm so excited. Oh, she talked about like having hospital visits and how the mother was like not that interested, or would just text instead of physically going to the hospital. Now, mind you, this one time for her, she was in a different country, so at least she couldn't. But the lackluster replies. My mother's only been to the ER with me once. And I think she wanted to prove I was faking it. And I totally wasn't. And when my dog died that I had for 13 years, that was my first dog that I trained, that I made mistakes with, that I bonded with. My first animal. Because my cat ran away, right? My cat ran away to go die or got hit by a car, whatever the case may be, whatever lie you told me, right? But my dog, the one that you picked out for me, died, and you wouldn't make the effort to come to the vet. But you know who showed up for me? The vet. Not the vet technician, the vet. I lost a piece of my soul the day I lost Jack. And thankfully, I've always had a pet that has similar manners as Jack. So I say he's giving me these animals to protect me and help me grow. I lost my shit. I lived half a mile from the vet, and they wouldn't let me drive home because I was bawling my eyes out because my soul had died. And the vet sat on the floor and cried with me and just shared in my pain and let me feel my pain. So did my husband when I called him and Skyped him. And I got home and I know Batman. Batman wants to take care of me. I know Batman. Thank you. That you would think you want to be there for a moment where your loved one is hurt so bad. So that made an impression on me. It really did. That I had to be there for her crises, like her separation. That man, I love you. Yes, I do. I was someone that always ruined holidays as well because I had to split my time up between two families, at least. if not 3 at times, because I was doing 3 different households with my granny involved. And if I was running late, even though I'd be bringing food or gifts for them or for my siblings so they didn't feel left out, that they weren't there, if I was late, I ruined the holiday, and I was being selfish because I can't split my time. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm still the asshole because I don't give enough of my time to them. When I have so many people to see and nobody comes and visit me, I'm lucky if I get a visit once a year or once every 2 years, and I lived 4 hours away. People would meet me halfway. They went just 4 hours, man. And every other weekend I was 4 hours back up there visiting them, visiting everyone I could. But it wasn't good enough. It's never good enough. Always fucking mind games. Ain't that the truth? All these notes in this book. I love it. Batman, you're driving me crazy. I love you. Okay, I need my hand. I need my hand, okay? You can lay with me, but I need my hand. Oh, yeah, my mother talks shit about everybody. Everybody. If you know my mother, just know you're getting shit talked about you. Everybody had a problem. Everybody had an issue. Nobody was good enough. Nobody was perfect enough. I walked in on my mother's affair, and she tried to gaslight me and tell me that it wasn't true. That they were just playing, that they were just friends. Bitch, I walked in on it and saw it. Okay? You can't gaslight my memory. You try and try and try to do that my entire life. It's not going to work anymore. Man, I have your hair all over my face now. You need a brushing. Oh, remembering our grandmas. My father having continuous suicide attempts. That was always fun. There's the education thing. The chapter 25. Can I smash her face against the wall yet? I said I did with my fist at 25. Me and my mom got into a fight, man. It wasn't pretty. Over saying I'm sorry. Can you believe that? I don't know if I told you guys that story, but eventually it's going to come up. When I get back on track, I'm getting there. I'm reading more books. I'm finding more time. I mean, still have a lot to do around here. We're having a party on the 19th. Whoop, whoop. A wood party, though, so you got to work to earn. Oh, yeah, my mother always thought when I had long-term friendships that I must be fucking them. That I must be having some type of relationship with them in that way, that I can't just be friends with people for long periods of time, because she doesn't have friends with people for long periods of time. So I was always fucking somebody. Change the narrative, gaslighting, boundaries that weren't respected. Yeah. There's a lot of underlining in this book, and I'm not going to sit through and try to read all that underlining. The biggest, which sucks, one of the biggest takeaways for the book, sorry, I have Batman hair all up in my septum, was footsteps shouldn't have moods. That hit me so fucking hard. I wrote it down, because I can't, a trigger of mine is heavy footsteps. And I always had to learn to walk lightly. And I was something I'd always tell my siblings at their house, because they had wood floors and they would walk so heavy. And it was just so hard for me. And I never knew or understood why it was so hard, until the fact that heavy footsteps meant trouble, meant you were going to get abused in some way. Physically, mentally, emotionally, something was going to come and happen to you or your sibling. And it wasn't going to be pretty, and it wasn't going to be nice. Smoke my joint a little bit, because Mama is in some pain. I think it's all the rain right now. We get extra rain in March before April comes, and then our flowers bloom like crazy in May. I just put some seed down, so I'm hoping all the rain will push it down, and we get some native wildflowers going on. Anywho, now that I know that you're watching, I'm going to try not to be as mean or petty But I've had a lot of things to say for a long time. And if this is the way that we're only going to communicate, then so be it. Then this is what you get. This is what you deserve. You know, you make an effort, maybe I'll make an effort, but I've always made an effort to try to meet you, always. And I'm always in trouble. And I'm always not good enough. And I'm always never right enough. Or I'm remembering things wrong. Or it can't be that way. You know, the only real apology I ever got from my mother was for her taking my cat and dumping it on a farm, as she claims. I don't know where the fuck she dumped my cat. Because she lived with me during her time of need and didn't like the cat that I rescued was peeing. So that helped me take it to the vet to figure out why the cat's peeing, or the fact that maybe it's in a new place and it's hard for it to adjust. She got rid of my cat. And she cried for and apologized to me. That is the most sincere apology I've ever got, and it was because she gave away my cat. Because animals mean more than humans to her. Ain't that for some fucking empathy, right? All the things you could apologize for, that's what you apologize for. Did we have the worst childhood growing up? Absolutely not. But we shouldn't be grateful or have gratitude that you gave us the bare necessities, that you clothed us, that you fed us, that we never went without electricity. Those are what you're supposed to do as a parent. I didn't ask to come into this fucking world. So I'm not asked to be clothed. I'm not asked to be fed. That's something that is on your shoulders. And we should not have to pay gratitude for that. It is not our fault. It's not our want. It's not our decision. So take accountability for your actions. If I could say it to somebody else, I would. But he's dead. I didn't speak to him for 2 years up until his death. So you get the brunt of it. And you deserve it. You were hard on us for no fucking reason. We were good kids. I stayed under your thumb because I was scared to death of you. My sibling decided, fuck you. If I'm going to get in trouble, I might as well make it worth it. What did you expect was going to happen? Are both results going to end up the same? That both your children end up maybe not talking to you because of your actions that you won't take accountability for? 100%. And if you don't want to take accountability, I have a page for you. It's Estranged Parents. You can put them on Facebook or you can YouTube it. Doormat Moms. Go ahead. Put that shit in there and go find your community and go sob to them. Because this one's not hearing your sob stories. This one wants accountability and wants change. Just like I'm doing for my life. For the betterment of my life and everyone around me, I am changing. I am learning. I am growing. I am evolving. I am moving away from fucking hate and anger. And it feels so good and so light. And I don't have to carry your fucking baggage anymore. I wasn't expecting me to do like all of that. I know it's definitely a different tone than you're used to seeing from me. Maybe it's a better tone, maybe it's not. You know, but it's my channel. It's the emotions I need to get out and I need to figure out and I need to reflect upon. And there's no better way than doing it this way. Because then I always have it to reflect upon. Oh. I gotta figure out my next book to read. I can't believe I read this in one sitting. It took me forever to finish Brene Brown. And I have Gabor, Hungarian Canadian to read, or I have Marsha Linehan. No, what I want to read is adult children of immature parents. That's what I want to read. I might start that tonight as I wait for my pills to make me sleepy. Read a little bit. Go sneak upstairs. Try not to wake up the boo. Because he's got some time left. Maybe I'll just stay up. I haven't decided. Reading that book gave me a burst of energy. I was tired all day, and now I just have this burst of energy, which is nice because now I can do this video and not be disturbed, especially because there's nothing to bark at. There's nothing going on at night except the cats. So I get a lot less interruptions that way, or me yelling, because I'm such a loud bitch anyways. You don't need to hear me yell. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I said I have to figure out if I'm going to do therapy tomorrow. Guess I could do a little bit of therapy tomorrow. What does it hurt? Is that all the therapy I have? I should not smoke while I'm sick, man. This joint reminds me of Amsterdam. It's really nice. Shit. Ain't got no therapy, so yeah, I should do therapy. I guess I'll write my therapist, let her know. Jesus Christ, this joint. Some Fat Panda for anyone that's interested in what's making me cough so much. Fat Panda and a little bit of a cold. I hope you can't hear me swallow. That's probably really gross. Well, what a bad idea, Stormy. Don't ever do that again. All the noises our body makes. It's fun. I did my decks. Went over the books. Went over the phone call. I guess I would get to see in the morning how viewed this video gets. My other one is up to 25 views all of a sudden. I'm appreciative that they've grown, and I hope someone can take something from the messages I speak or the way that I speak them. Yes, sometimes I'm crass, but sometimes I'm just fucking honest. Not everything's going to work for everybody. And sometimes doctors try to put us in a box and think that we should just be able to do A, B, C, D, and we should be better. Not fix, but better. And it doesn't work that way by any means. So I like doing these cards to show that, hey, while they say this is a good thing to do, it's not achievable. It's not attainable at a certain level in your life. You know, you have to hold on to that card and maybe check in on it and see if you can use any of these. And the more you can use, that the better you're getting with your skills. Doesn't mean you're getting better at life. You just get better at using your skills, which should make your life easier. But, I don't want to contradict the people that still struggle with these skills, because that is very much a reality as well. It can be my reality from time to time. So I appreciate everyone that takes the time out. Again, 1 year on YouTube. Holy fucking shit. I'm here. I made it and I can do it. Yeah, I will update, I guess, as things may or not go along. Keep an eye on, if you're in my Facebook group, post in there, or keep an eye on my community tab here. I was trying to remember the word. The community tab here, I will make posts sometimes. I don't know how they get reached out, how you get notified. Some people care, some people don't care. I totally get it. But if not, on my community or my Facebook group, then you will see me here with an update, especially because we only have one car, so it's very limited on the activities I get to do, like appointments. So I will be home a bit more, doing things around the house, more like painting. I need to paint my bathroom door and this trim, and it's such a project. It's a fun project, but it's a project. Sorry, I was looking at my door in my head. So yeah. It's March. It's the end of fucking March. My mom's birthday is in 4 days. Yes, it's still my birthday. Yes, that's probably why I dream of you and I get PTSD dreams. And it's hard to get a feeling of accomplishment from you. So I have a lot of stress dreams that involve you. And it comes out in my body and it sucks. But I hope you have a good birthday. I hope it's everything you wanted. I hope that the choices that you've made led you down this path and it's the path that you want. If it's not, it's time to make changes and no better way to start, right? You can start this year. You can start tomorrow. You can start in 2 weeks. Just start. Hope you guys are maybe enjoying the rain, maybe not enjoying the rain. I don't mind it because I know that we're going to have lots of big flowers and I'm ready for my bushes to bloom. Please be well. Please be kind. Please be humble. Please think of others, especially in times like now. It's very important to have your community. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for letting me vent. I appreciate it as always. Thank you for allowing me to just be on here. And if you watch me, thank you. I know it's only a little bit, but I appreciate it. And it still makes me feel validated, even though, like, I know it's just a handful of people. I still feel validated that you give me an option of time. So thank you. Roller Coaster Storms, checking on out. Bye, guys.